I did say I'm not a professional, right? Just so you guys know. I am not professional. Just a guy that doesn't want to pay 200 and something bucks to Harley. Change this tire. That wasn't so difficult. That's all of it, because my punch isn't long enough to go any further. Oh crap, that's the last thing I want to see happen. So actually it was pretty easy. All I had to do was kind of hand unthread it the last bit and it came right out. So that whole trying to pull it didn't really work. And now that I got the axle out, I'm able to pull out these guys. That's just 9/16 on this bolt here. And now I've got to remove the bushings from the tire and the belt. So, never done this before. No idea what I'm doing. Tools like this, but this is 1 1/4 inch. My wife got this for me, so that's why I have it. Got it from Harbor Freight. Okay. Oh, there's a bolt on the back there. Back. 1/2 inch on the bolt on the back of that 1/4 inch hex. Okay. Got a little washer here. Bolt. Let's try not to lose everything. I don't know about you guys, but I have a tendency of losing my bolts because I don't usually have a work tray that I put my bolts on. So, and besides, you know, having a kid, I could get distracted, forget where things go. So I usually try and put them back where they came from, just so I don't have to do that "where did this come from" dance later on. Now we're gonna try and slip this belt off without breaking anything. Look at that. You do the steps, things just come out the way they should. I'm really concerned about that hub. All right. Basically, I'm fooling with this spacer. Another one here. Now I know this one's the back side, and that little notch here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a notch on top letting you know it goes to the outside. Crickets, man, that was way more work. I'd rather just pay Harley, honestly. You know, even though I'm as sick as I am, rather just pay Harley. Because this is for the birds, man. Jack stands. I don't have any helpers helping me. Let me go find another hand. Alrighty. I'm just gonna try and slide this. I'm gonna lay it down real slow. I mean, just gently set it down. Have the tire. Only reason I say, you know, let Harley do it is because they're going to torque it, spec everything the way it should be. I don't have a torque. Yes, I do. It's just not in this state. So, and that seems to always be the problem. Is like no matter where I buy my tools and put them, I took from the state that I come from, Indianapolis, Texas. And doing the repair here at a family member's house, and I don't have all the tools that I need to do the job that I want. But I figured that would also happen if I was out on the road, and I found myself in a predicament. If I had to take off my tire, could I do it? You know, what kind of tools is it going to take? How much pain in the butt it is? Because, you know, if you could just take a tire off on the side of the road, someone could give you a lift to the Harley dealership or a cycle gear and get a tire mounted back on. You go back out there and put your tire back on. But of course, I'm talking to people that actually ride their bikes cross country like me. You know, I left in 29-degree weather when I left, and it was cold as heck. If it wasn't for those no cry handlebars covers, I would have been in trouble, because I can only ride 30 minutes at a time before my hands went frozen at 80 miles an hour. So you figure I was in a negative wind chill. But I did it, and I did it while I'm sick. I have vasculitis. Medicine keeps me alive until my body comes back online. So that's another thing. So 2/3 of my energy is robbed from me, and just trying to be able to breathe while I do this is very difficult. But this is my passion. This is what I love to do. This is why I share the videos with you. I'm not looking for sympathy or empathy. I'm just like, hey bro, I ride my bike cross country. Got to put this tire on, because this bike, and this is an 883. I know people are like, oh my God. Yeah, I ride this thing cross country. I have a 1250 big bore kit, stage 2, and all that other stuff. But it's a basket case. Stuff is always breaking because I screwed with it and made it more powerful than it is. So it's always being torn down and put back together, whereas the stock 883 doesn't need anything but tires and oil changes. So that's the way I'd rather go with these type of bikes, man. It's an 883, it's 2003. I mean, it shakes like hell at 80. So I just take it down to 55, hit the no map, no tolls, and it adds 4 hours to my trip. I don't care. I'm doing this because I love to ride. I'm not doing it because I'm trying to get to a destination. So this is going to leave Texas and go to California. And so I hope we'll see how good this tire does. And we'll see if I actually mount this tire on here. Good. There's enough of that. All right, let's get this thing up the cycle here. Home Depot. Put some heavy duty grease in there. It's good for high speed heat applications. And I got it all up and down the axle here. Not too much, but enough to make the job a little bit easier. More than what was on there when I took it off. And then I also did the same thing to the bushings on both sides. Well, one side, I did it to this bushing. I didn't do it to the other. Putting the tire on was pretty much as simple as taking it off. This disc bracket comes all the way off. Once you take your bolt out, it's just rubber mounted, so it can slide off or up or back or forward to get this tire on as you need. And slipping the belt on was just as simple as it was taking it off. So I'm gonna go into this other side. Well, that went all the way through. So hopefully I have everything where it should have been. Let's check. And so now, oh, I knew I screwed up. You have to have these in place for the axle to go through so you can adjust it. I knew I screwed up. Let's give it a gentle nudge. Guessing something is going to be lined up. I'm going to put the belt guard back on, and hopefully it's in a place. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, maybe it was already scratched. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And then there was this pad thingy. I'm guessing this goes earlier in my video, because I can't tell you what it is right now. Looks like it's a 1/2-inch bolt on the back. Jiminy crickets. Somebody needs a mill. Alright. So I'm using the Pittsburgh 1 1/4. That's what that says that is. And then on the back side it's 1/2 inch according to this wrench socket. Well, crescent wrench. I'm holding a socket. 1/2 inch crescent 1 1/4 hex. I'm gonna leave it a little bit loose so that I can get it through the shock. Then I'll tighten everything up. Alright, I'm just making sure I'm not forgetting something like I did with that's integral components a minute ago. Jeez. You know, when you get tired, you make mistakes like that. That's where I'm at right now. So for the shock bolts, it's 3/4. I don't even know if that's in the camera, but whatever. Too tired to care right now. So all I did was hand tighten these, and of course I can't take them off now. And the only reason I did that is, like I said, you know, you walk away from your project, don't come back for a week, and you can't remember what bolt goes to what. So I just learned over time, you know, I just need to keep my hardware close by, or fasten to where I refastened to where I took them out of. Alright, we just need these shocks to line up. I actually need new shocks. I had to sell my Legends because I decided I wasn't going to ride at that type of height, and I believe those Legends were designed for guys who want to do some stunts. So I don't do stunts. My biggest stunt is not crashing and hopefully putting things back together the way that I found them. Boy, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong, but I know I'm doing it. Okay, I got it. I just needed some persuasion. Get back on there. There we go. So I had to sell those shocks, which actually worked out in my favor because my Harley Davidson of Bloomington, Indiana treats me like freaking family. So of course I got the shocks at a very discounted rate, and then I had to sell them. So really sad about that, but comes with getting sick and not being able to pay your bills from a weird disease. It just shows up out of nowhere, and not because you lived a lifestyle or kept yourself so out of shape that it warranted this type of illness. Apparently this illness is just the luck of the draw. So I lost a couple months worth of work, and I've been playing catch up ever since. And then right when I was about to make some leadway, boop, I lost 3/4 of my income. So I'm in the process of restructuring myself so that I don't get even further behind. Thank God I paid all my credit off, well, my credit cards. That's the part that affects you the most. And I was able to pay those bad boys down. I can get this other shop on faster now that I just did the other side. I said, I hand tighten these. I don't understand why I need tools to take them off. It's not like they're badly rusted or something. They got wet. Yeah, a lot easier once that other shock is up on the other side. I don't know why I'm trying to screw that. It just pushes through. Like I said, I'm hungry and tired. I'm not a professional. This is my first time doing this on this bike, so I'm learning like you're learning right now. We'll see what comes of it. It'd be nice to torque this down to spec for what the Harley book calls for, but all the tools I would possibly need are not here. So I'm also guessing that's what's going to happen if you're out in the field. You're just not going to have all these tools for traveling. Alright, so now all I gotta do is get this axles the same distance. So the video says I'm at 1 3/8 for this guy here, so tighten it down. Hope I'm tightening. It's 1 3/8. What was like in between 3/8 and a half inch. 1, 2, and get that done before I go putting the cover on, because then I'll put the cover on and then realize I need to put this pin in, and I'll have to take everything off when I'm supposed to go. And you're just trying to get past that big old bolt down there. There you go. You're making it more complicated than it needed to be. Or was you? 100% you're making it more complicated. There we go. Working with firecrackers. Reason number one why you should never do your tire changes. This is actually rubbing on the strut bolt, so that's why the tire looks so wonky. When you go to this side, you know, there's no rubbing, and every time this bike hits a bump, it's hitting the struts. But that's because this tire is for a 1200 and not an 883. And you can kind of tell. This is the first time for me I'd ever noticed, but that fender in the back sits off to the left, so the tire is not centered in the fender. And I noticed that could be because of the accident that it was in from the original owner I bought it from. So yeah, I'm at the Harley Davidson shop now trying to get it fixed. We'll just see what happens, man. Lucky me.